Hey, good morning and welcome on this Friday. With me in the studio, I put out a call and I said I'd really like to introduce Troy Tomaras. Did I pronounce that correctly?
You did. Thank you.
Okay. As the new College Place police chief, and I mean brand new. And this is a chance for the listeners to find out a little bit more about you. And you told me before we went on the air that you were actually born in Washington, and you are a Washingtonian through and through.
Yep, 100% Washingtonian my whole life.
And where were you born?
I was born in Olympia, Washington.
And go to school?
I grew up in Port Orchard, and I graduated high school from South Kitsap.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then as far as your police career, where did you get training?
I just recently retired after nearly 26 years with the Washington State Patrol.
And were you on the road, or were you in office, or how did it work?
Yes, sir. I worked my way through my career. I worked my way from trooper to sergeant, and I ended up retiring as a lieutenant assigned to our Homeland Security Division downtown Seattle.
Okay. And you told me that you are one of those truly unique individuals that actually, is this true, married your high school sweetheart?
I did. I married my high school sweetheart, Debbie, and her and I have come here. This is an adventure that we're taking on together.
And you said that you were ready, perhaps, for a change. You were due for retirement. He looks incredibly young, but you said you're due for retirement.
I was. I was eligible to retire from the patrol last August, and we started looking for some different career opportunities. It was a good opportunity to go out there and maximize your earning potential and just take on a new challenge. And my wife actually found the application online for College Place, and I thought, I don't want to leave the patrol until I really find something I'm excited about. And I read the application. I thought, wow, that is College Place, Eastern Washington. I said, I'm going to go for that.
And you also made clear that you had an affinity for Eastern Washington because you're a triathlete. You've been here before.
I have.
On this side of the state.
I have. I did my Ironman in Coeur d'Alene, of course, and I've spent a lot of time. Even when I was on the State Patrol, I spent a lot of time over here throughout my career. And I started out my career actually as a cadet assigned to Ellensburg. So I've always just had an attraction to the east side of the mountains.
And the more you found out and the more your wife found out about the position, did your excitement level increase?
It really did. I came over here. I was a finalist. I came over here, and there was 5 other finalists along with me, and just great guys. I'm completely humbled that I was selected. The mayor, Harvey Crowder, is amazing. And when I met him, I met some of the city council members. I felt like this is a place where I could really contribute towards.
And your wife, Debbie, is she kind of excited too, or is she still sort of feeling her way around?
She loves it. Yeah, she loves the lifestyle, and the people here are so warm and inviting, and it's just really a nice change of pace for both of us.
Well, I think it's great. Now let's talk about challenges, because just within the last 10 years, obviously, the new city hall and the police department, and they have done some moving. Or you're in the annex building now.
We are.
Is that right?
That's correct.
But what are the challenges you foresee as we look ahead? A lot of times laymen don't know the kind of challenges that any police department faces, and you were telling me how staffed you were and what the challenges may be in the future.
Certainly, College Place is growing, and we need to grow along with that. And we have staffing challenges. I have 10 commissioned officers. That includes 2 sergeants. I have 7 patrolmen who I have 2 of those are at the academy right now, and they'll be out here in late July. And then I have 1 officer who's deployed serving our armed forces abroad.
Okay.
So, we definitely have challenges.
And then the kinds of crime, and again, I'm not going to pin you down, but somebody who comes from the Seattle area on the west side, they may have different types of what we consider crime than here in Eastern Washington. It's a little sleepier here, but there's still things that need to be tended to.
No, there's certainly a lot of things out there that can be tended to. I see a lot of property crimes, a lot of car prowls, burglaries, and things like that, a lot of thefts. So certainly there's things that people in the community can do, lock doors, turn on lights, talk to each other's neighbors, look out for each other, close garage doors. Those just doing those types of things can prevent a lot. And recently we've seen just so many bicycles that are being stolen. So lock up your bikes. Invest in a chain and lock up your bikes.
A lot of times, I know that the Walla Walla police force is big in being visible, walking beats, getting out on the streets. Is that sort of your mentality as well?
It really is. I really like the community policing concept, working with the community, and we're sending 2 of our officers to bicycle training. So we're going to have a couple officers this summer riding bikes.
In the community, whether it's in the college or out at the east or south end, they're going to be riding around.
Going to be riding around on their bicycles, day shift, night shift, and it's a
Did they look forward to that? I honestly don't know. If I came to work for you and you said, okay, you've got bike patrol, I'm going, I don't think so.
I don't think they're excited about the training because it's pretty rigorous.
Is it rigorous?
It really is, yeah. You have to be physically fit and whatnot. So they're definitely training and getting prepped for that. And but it's a great tool that can be used for many different things.
I'm kind of intrigued about the whole thing. We're going to come back and continue to talk with Troy. We'll talk about relationship building that he's doing with the other municipalities in our area right after this. Welcome back. Glad you're with us in the studio. He seems young. He's ungodly attractive, and he is the new police chief of College Place. Troy Tomaras is with us, along with his wife. You did mention you have 2 grown children, but they are not here.
That's correct. They stayed on the west side.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And grandfather?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Oh, please no.
There was a little glint in the eye. Off the mic, I was asking about communication. And when we think of law enforcement, the people listening think, well, he's the police chief of College Place. But really, you have to have good relationships with all the municipalities, and there has to be a sense of trust that goes in every direction. What's your take been so far?
Extremely competent peers, Chief Beaver and Sheriff Turner, extremely competent and professional individuals, and they've been very welcoming and been already great mentors for me. And they want me to be successful, and they want the police department to be successful.
Is there any challenge because of all the cities you could have applied to? I can't think of any as close to a state border as College Place. I mean, it's just less than 10 miles and you're in another state. And you said you had not met the Milton Freewater police chief. But does that have any challenges?
I think it's all about communication and relationships, and certainly we can go into Oregon and they can come into Washington, and it's just a matter of meeting people. I've been here for just a couple days, over a month now, and looking forward to meeting them and developing that relationship. But my officers have a tremendous relationship with them. I work closely with them.
And that's good. And there's been several news stories recently of, car chases from Oregon into Washington, and that's some jurisdictional stuff. And with your background with the state patrol, is that a problem? You always watch TV and they say, oh, the feds are here, or the state patrol is here, or they're going to take control.
Yeah, Smokey and the Bandit, they go across the line there, sure. Yeah. No, absolutely not. You can pursue a suspect into another state, and then you just take them in front of the local magistrate, and they're taken into custody in that position. Well,
I asked you off mic, I said, is law enforcement in your family's history? And you said no.
No, my dad retired after teaching for 30 years. He was actually taught at the high school I went to, and my grandfather, another connection to Eastern Washington, my grandfather was the athletic director and wrestling coach at Washington State University for a number of years. Yeah.
So you have a familiarity with the Pullman area?
Not so much. I've actually never been to Pullman. That's the one city in the east side I've never been to.
Really?
But my dad grew up there up until about junior high, and has fond memories of there.
If you could be just as politically correct as possible, what's it like going to school where your father is a teacher?
He knew my test grades before I did generally, so yeah, that was always tough.
Okay, I just wanted to double check on that. As you go ahead, some of the problems, and we've talked about challenges, and you mentioned pretty straightforward ones, locking up your house and turning on your porch lights and those kinds of things. Have you been brought up to speed about gangs or drugs or those types of things in this area?
Absolutely, and they're in College Place. We know that, and we're actively doing everything we can to minimize that. And you know, I think one of the best tools we have is communication and making sure people are aware of it. It's in our neighborhoods, and to look out for that and communicate those issues if you see those. You know, and if there's something that I can do as a chief or one of my officers, please let us know.
It's a big concern for those of us that live here, and yet I have a sense that areas, especially metroplex areas like Seattle and Tacoma and Olympia, they have exponentially more problems in those lines than we do. But your philosophy is being proactive?
Absolutely, we need to be proactive. Well, we need to work with the community and be reactive as well, but going out there and being proactive, and that doesn't mean going out and writing a bunch of tickets and things like that. It just means going out and being involved in the community and talking to people, and it's amazing what you learn from just talking to people. And
being visible, I'm gathering, is something that's very important to you.
Yes, our guys, I tell you, one of the things, I've ridden with every one of my officers, and I've gotten to go out there and out and about, and they do a great job of being visible. And one of the things that just really impressed me is how welcoming people are to the police department here. I mean, everywhere we went, people were waving to us, and so that tells me we already have a great relationship with our community, and I want to build upon that.
I think that it's pretty incredible that you made it over here, and you intend to be here. You mentioned your predecessor, and he was here for how long?
He was here for, I think around 40 years.
Are you going to try and beat that?
I am not. I can say that right now on the air. I am not going to work here for 40 years, but I do plan on being here for a while. Okay. And it's a tremendous privilege, and I'm humbled to come in here after Dennis, and I'm grateful.
Tell me this. We've seen your bona fides for law enforcement, but what other things, other than your athletic achievements, hobbies and things that you like to do or that your family likes to do?
Yeah, I enjoy being a triathlete. I like riding my mountain bike. I love mountain biking, and my wife and I enjoy hiking. And I actually a little bit of an artist. I like to draw and paint, and when I have time. So
outdoors, yes. Some artistic talents.
Yes.
Reading, those kinds of things.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm reading a lot of things I don't really care to read right now. I'm going to school still, so I'm learning about world societies right now. In particular, I'm learning a lot about that. But
doesn't sound riveting to me.
It's not riveting, but it's good.
Because of the outdoor amenities that we have with the Blues, have you done any exploring up into the mountains or around the region?
We have. Last weekend, my wife and I went out to Palouse Falls.
Oh, yeah.
That was amazing. And we made it down to the Whitman Mission, and we've been out to Waitsburg, and yes, we're enjoying all of it.
And so this is kind of ideal. That's what I'm hearing from you for the things you like to do.
It's just tremendous. It really fits into our lifestyle.
Well, it's nice that you came, towards the tail end of winter, because the winter hasn't been good here. My guest this morning, if I hadn't made clear to you, is Troy Tomaras, and he is the new Chief of Police of College Place. And I think you will find him engaging, and I encourage you, if you see him around, to walk up and shake his hand. We're going to continue on with